Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. So, just a quick little video. I'm going to show you guys how to set your neck on an acoustic guitar. Electric guitars are going to be same process. The first thing you got to do, of course, is make sure your strings are loosened off before you do this. You don't want to do this when the strings are tight because the neck's not going to want to cooperate and move properly. And you could actually snap a string doing this. Either way, you must loosen your strings first. Now, with an acoustic, you don't really have to worry too much about intonation. They're set up in such a way that home user people, like DIY guys, can't really mess with the intonation anyhow. You could mess with the string height at the saddle if you needed to lower it further if the neck adjustments don't work. But sometimes what happens if things are way too far out of whack, either you got a really super cheap piece of junk guitar that is just not anything you can adjust, which does happen quite often actually. But sometimes you can pull the saddle out and there's usually spacers underneath that you can remove one or both of those spacers and drop it down. So if you've already tried to adjust your neck and your neck is in the position where it's too straight or it's bending backwards, which is not good, and your string height is still too high, bring your neck height back up by loosening off the truss rod and then maybe checking at your saddle head. Now this saddle is extremely low. And I haven't checked underneath it to see if there is spacers, but I brought this neck down about 3 times now, and I'm the kind of person who really likes to push it. I really want that extra every ounce I can get. So I'm going to try and get the last remainder because I still have some wow in the neck, some bow that is an upward bow that is good, because you always need to have just a little bit. You don't want it straight, and you don't want it going under. So loosen the strings off first. Grab your Allen key for your guitar if you got one with it. You usually will with a brand new guitar, but if not, then find one that fits the nut fine. And then you're going to put it in to the slot. And with the guitar, if your neck is facing your right hand like mine is, even though this is a right-handed guitar, you'll pull the key toward you, but if you have your neck facing the left side of you, you will push it forward, okay, so away from you. So because of the way I have it set up, I'm going to pull it toward me to tighten it. So it's always lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. Even if the adjuster is at the neck, it would be, in this case, I would be pushing the key away from me, pulling toward me to loosen. So, and we're going to take this a good, probably half turn, maybe a little bit more. And I've said this before that you don't want to overdo this because you can also damage the neck. So there is a limit. I'll just grab my tuner here. And when you are tuning, if you go sharp, then back the key off so that you're under, then tune up to that note. And you'll probably have to tune the guitar 2, maybe 3 times because you're pulling back up at the neck. So. I'm just over tuning it a little bit just to help with some extra stretch, and then I bring it back. Okay, so see where things sit now. Much lower, much better. And we still have just a slight bit of bow, which is what we wanted. Now just holding down here at the 15th, I'm using a 46. Let me see if I got another pick here I can read. 46 mil pick. And I'm going between the string and the fret wire. And just in pushing at that, it's just lifting it. So I just have enough clearance here. Good clearance there at the 3rd. So that's pretty good, and that's all there is to your neck adjustment. Now on electric guitars, when you do this, let me just point the camera up here. When you do this on an electric guitar, you are more than likely going to affect your intonation, which you'll have to reset on your electrics. And so when you're working with an electric guitar, the one thing that's very important to keep in mind is that you got good strings that are, you know, still alive. So don't try and set the intonation with dead strings, in other words, because then when you go to put fresh strings on, everything's totally out of whack. So when you are messing with an electric guitar, you know, make sure you've got a fresh set of strings going on. Get those on there, tune them up, stretch them out a couple of times, you know, and then back them off. Set your neck height to where you need it, you know, if that's what you need to do. Sometimes with an electric, what you'll do is you'll end up setting the height of the saddles. That's one thing that is one of the tunings that's involved in setting up an electric guitar for your action and everything. It's not just a neck adjustment, you also have saddle heights that are adjustable, whereas like an acoustic is pretty much fixed, right, except for that spacer thing I mentioned that may or may not be there. And if there isn't any, and you can't straighten out the neck enough, you could have other problems going on with your guitar, or you do have a cheap piece of junk guitar which just can't really even be set up, and that does happen a lot. A lot of these really super cheap guitars are just that. They're cheap, they're garbage. That's why they're $50 to $100 brand new a lot of times, right? They're just no good. And you know, especially your Walmart specials and stuff, those things are just and there's many other brands out there. But with setting up the electric, it is very important to make sure you have new strings on. because you will affect your intonation, because you are changing string lengths when you're changing your neck. And with an acoustic, it's not such a major thing, you know, but sometimes, yeah, it's going to require a lot more stuff than just a simple neck adjustment like this is minor, you know. But with an electric, yeah, you're messing with the intonation, so make sure you got fresh strings on there. You know, like I said, stretch them out a few times, make sure they're tuning up, then back them off, set the neck, try that first if that's your problem. And to check that, you know, you can go to the 12th or the 15th, and what you want to do is you want to hold one finger down on your first fret and your other one down either the 12th or the 15th, and then look down in this area for height. And if it's, you know, if it's high, well then it's definitely, and you've got a low point and a high point, then maybe you just need to straighten your neck out, okay? And that's possible. That happens a lot, even with brand spanking new guitars that aren't properly set up, even out of the box. You know, you will have some tuning to do, so, you know, be aware of that. So when you're buying brand new, usually it's a good idea to get the store to at least professionally set your guitar up first, you know, and then this way, as things progress and you play it, you know, you'll learn to do things on your own too, hopefully, and to maintain your guitar, which will save you a lot of expense down the road. But anyways, so that's it for this video. And that's our little Fender 20th anniversary we're playing with, in case you're wondering which guitar it was again. And but it needed one more little tweak, and it looks like I've pretty much pushed it. And let's check for buzz. Looks like we're still all good. Much easier to press the strings down. They're a little lower now. Not too bad. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next video.